Hi everyone! Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this little Valentine's Day purse. And what a creative way to give your little sweetheart a treat along with something you handmade. Hi, I'm Minnie from This and That Minis. Go into your yarn stash and grab 2 colors of your choice. Anything will work. You will need a stitch marker, a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and today I'm using a size H hook. Let's get started. We're going to start with a magic ring. And a chain 3. Now this chain 3 does count as our first double crochet. Now place 2 more double crochets in that magic ring. And there's 1. And 2. And that completes the first cluster. Now we'll need to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets just like before in that magic ring. And there's 1. Two. And 3 double crochets. And that completes another cluster. Chain 2 and place another 3 double crochet cluster in that magic ring, followed by a chain 2 stitch. And we'll continue like this: 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, until you have a total of 4 clusters. Crochet that last double crochet and chain 2. Pull that ring closed and finish off this round with a slip stitch at the top of that first chain 3 stitch. Now we'll need to slip stitch over to the corner here. So place a slip stitch into each of those stitches. And a slip stitch right into the corner. And like the previous round, we'll now chain 3, place 2 more double crochets into that corner stitch or gap there, creating that first cluster, and then chain 2, and going back into that same corner, we're going to place 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and then going over to the next corner and place 3 double crochets, followed by a chain 2 and another 3 double crochet. Now we'll continue with this pattern: 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and another 3 double crochet cluster in the next corner, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster in the last corner. and placing that last double crochet in the corner, followed by a chain 2, and we'll place a slip stitch at the top of that chain 3 stitch. We're going to slip stitch over to that corner again. And place a slip stitch into that corner hole there. We'll chain 2 again. And now we're going to do a treble stitch. That's yarn over twice. Place your hook into that center hole. Pull up a loop. Pull through that first 2 loops on your hook. Pull through the second 2 loops on your hook. And pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. Chain 2 and place another treble stitch right into that same middle stitch. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. Chain 2, and we're going to do that 2 more times. Crochet a treble stitch, chain 2, crochet a treble stitch, chain 2. That creates the rounded part of your heart. Now we're going to chain 2 and go over to this corner and slip stitch right into that corner. We're going to chain 2 and then repeat that sequence, placing a treble crochet into that next chain 2 space, followed by a chain 2, another treble crochet, chain 2, treble crochet, chain 2. And when you're finished, you should have a total of 4 treble crochets with a chain 2 stitch in between each one. If you're enjoying the video, hit that like button. Comment below if you have any questions or comments. I'd really love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more creative content to come. Chain 2 after that last treble crochet, and into that corner stitch place a slip stitch. And there's our heart. Chain 3, and we're going to place a double crochet at the top of every stitch. We're going to place 2 double crochets in each chain 2 space. In this chain 2 space, place 2 double crochets. And now we're at the point of the heart. We'll need to place a half double crochet, a double crochet in that same stitch, chain 1, and do just like you did before with a double crochet, a half double crochet, and then continue on with double crochets in all the stitches, except for the chain 2 space where we'll put 2 double crochets in those. Stop just before you get to the center of the heart. We'll do something different here. And here we are at the chain 2 trebles. We'll place a double crochet at the top of each of those treble stitches, and then of course 2 double crochets in the chain 2 spaces. And in this last space, we'll place a half double crochet. And in the same space, a single crochet. And in the very center, we'll create a slip stitch. And we'll do those exact same stitches in reverse for the other side. A single crochet, followed by a half double crochet, and then doubles until we meet up with where we began. And place a double crochet in that last stitch. And a slip stitch at the top of the very beginning chain 3 stitches. And now we have our heart. Looking pretty good. Let's cut off that end. And here we're going to change colors and begin our border row. We'll start with a slip knot and placing that on our hook that is still in our heart on our last stitch. I'm going to tie that off, pulling them tight. I like to just put a couple of knots there to secure them. And grab those ends. We could crochet those right along with our stitches. We will single crochet in each stitch all around, with the exception of the tip and the very center. And here we are at the point. We're going to place a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet. And then continue on until we reach those last 2 stitches in the center, where we'll place slip stitches. And in those last 2 stitches, place slip stitches. And in that very center, place a slip stitch. And the first stitch of the next hump, place a slip stitch. And then continue on with your single crochets until you meet back up with where we began. And here we are back up at the beginning. We're going to place one last single crochet and then a slip stitch in the very beginning. Now crochet a second heart just as you did this first one. I'll meet back up with you when we have 2 finished hearts. And now we'll begin with our ruffled border. With wrong sides facing each other, we'll count out the stitches from the center. We don't want a border on the centers. We'll count out 10 stitches from the center. Place a stitch marker there. Count from the center of both hearts to ensure they both have 10 stitches. In picking back up where the loop is in the first heart, we're going to place a single crochet through both hearts. Chain 3 and a slip stitch in that same stitch. This yarn is so finicky I have to help it along with each slip stitch. But we'll place a single crochet in the next stitch with a chain 3 and a slip stitch in that same stitch. And this is how we create our ruffle. Is a single crochet, chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch. And we're going to follow this same pattern all around until we get to 10 stitches from the center of the other side of the heart. We're not going to do any different around the point of the heart this time around. Place a stitch marker here. I will do these stitches off camera and meet back up with you at 10 stitches from the center of the heart. And when you're 10 stitches from the center of the heart, make a chain of 40 stitches. Of course, you can make yours longer or shorter. I found 40 stitches to be just right for this little heart purse. And counting 10 stitches from the center on over is where we will begin with the pattern once again, making sure it's the same on the other side, 10 stitches. Now run your fingers along that chain. You'll want to make sure it's not twisted in any way before placing that end loop on your hook. Picking back up that ruffle stitch, we're going to continue on down to where we began. We'll crochet a single crochet, chain 3, and a slip stitch in the same stitch. And we'll finish this round, as well as the purse, with a slip stitch at the beginning. Cut off that end. Pull through, making a knot. And then weave in your ends. Cut off that end there, and you're all finished. And if you haven't done so already, like I didn't, go ahead and weave those ends inside there. And gifting these with a small treat tucked inside is a sweet way to show how much you care.